The Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex is a primary hub for modern religious architecture. You see these massive, pristine megachurches on almost every major highway, highly polished campuses built to offer a comfortable, seeker-sensitive experience. Pastor Don Muir, known to his congregation as Pastor Don, operates in direct opposition to that culture. His approach to faith is gritty, urgent, and entirely decentralized from the suburban megachurch model. For years, his identity was forged in the military. He was trained in rigid command structures and the kind of worldly discipline that values absolute personal control. That control evaporated when his wife faced a severe battle with cancer. In the helplessness of the hospital room, the discipline that had defined his career provided no leverage, forcing a radical reevaluation of his priorities. Muir walked away from the professionalized clergy model and the safety of the indoor pulpit. He took his message to the highways and hedges, adopting a posture of total surrender, where his only command was the one he felt he received from the street. To understand how he operates, you have to look at the layout of Grand Prairie, Texas. Instead of a sprawling campus, the early Christian church is hidden away. It runs its operations out of the backside of a modest commercial building on Southwest 3rd Street, a location that serves as a physical protest against architectural excess. Inside that unassuming space, Pastor Don has forged a specific theological synthesis. He combines the strict, Bible-only framework of conservative Baptists with the expressive, spirit-filled healing of Pentecostalism. This diagram maps out the church's operating system, which is pulled directly from the Book of Acts. Notice how these 6 foundational pillars, the Word, prayer, fellowship, giving, sacraments, and praise, all actively funnel the congregation toward one central engine, evangelism. ECC functions as a tactical staging ground. The goal is to move individuals through a rapid progression. They enter as converts, train as disciples, and are quickly deployed to the streets as leaders. Once that training is complete, the congregation leaves the 4 walls of the building to meet the public on the physical pavement. They deploy to the busiest secular intersections in the region. They set up along Pioneer Parkway, or right here outside the University of Texas at Arlington, places where foot traffic is heavy and people are entirely absorbed in their daily routines. The centerpiece of this deployment is a massive, heavy wooden cross, dragged for miles over the rough asphalt. Over the sound of the cross, you hear Pastor Don's voice. He uses amplified sound to confront passing pedestrians with repetitive, urgent questions about eternity and the inevitability of death. He aims to disrupt the pursuit of money and entertainment, targeting the complacency he believes is bred by hyper-grace, the theology that one can claim forgiveness while continuing to live without change. To create that disruption, Pastor Don relies on a law-focused approach to street preaching. As this flowchart illustrates, he employs a specific rhetorical sequence. He starts with the law, the 10 Commandments. He asks strangers if they've ever told a lie or looked at someone with lust. The moment they admit they have, he establishes the violation, moving them into a sudden crisis of personal guilt. In this methodology, the news of the cross remains logically inaccessible until the person first accepts the diagnosis of their own sin. This triggers visceral reactions on the street. Some pedestrians respond with intense pushback, while others stop completely, suddenly confronted with a question they hadn't planned to answer during their commute. In Pastor Don's view, modern society operates under a coerced silence regarding spiritual standing. He believes the abrasive nature of street preaching is the only tool capable of bypassing that silence. This analog, pavement-level ministry is now scaling far beyond the local intersections of Grand Prairie. For the people he meets face-to-face, the tangible takeaway is this bilingual 4-step Bible tract, handed out directly on the asphalt. Simultaneously, the Pastor Don at ECC YouTube channel archives these street interactions, broadcasting local confrontations to a national audience of thousands. It creates a striking paradox. The early Christian church restricts its physical footprint to maintain a primitive, tight-knit community. Yet online, it functions as a virtual sanctuary for believers who have grown disillusioned with corporate, institutional religion. Pastor Don operates his ministry as a prophetic remnant. He ignores the attendance metrics and architectural expansion that define his megachurch neighbors. His ultimate critique is that modern religion is designed to produce passive consumers. His model is built exclusively to forge mobilized disciples. The ultimatum delivered from the street corner is absolute. You cannot treat Jesus as a convenient savior who merely rescues you from the consequences of sin. True salvation requires total surrender. It demands that Jesus be accepted as the absolute Lord over every hour and every decision in a believer's life.